a customer of the week. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards a small town below. The color of her hair and tapping of the cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. You're Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head face a little more towards the source of my voice, as she does. Hisao? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory of voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise! Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small, polite bow, and once again, I reply in kindness before realizing that I need to do so. Just going in town. You? My, what a coincidence! Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, starting to look a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes in town with me. Not lost, but worried. Two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in the book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't imagine but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly want to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. Tuck, 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 tuck. With the road bereft of carts and the students of Yanmaku increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard of. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I relaxed so much that loud yawn escaped my controller. Oh boy! Oh god. Tired? Yeah, been running ragged those past few days, and voice acting, and been up too. That's an understatement to be sure of. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopping right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess. Yanmaku's kinda different though. I mean, the familiarity of surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset, I suppose. No, I suppose I'll get used to it though in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's separating, along with Class 3 through 2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking on down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speak about something else. So, where in town were you going? That's actually a pretty good question. I've come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I've intended to just wander around and see what I can find, but with sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to have to ask her for directions. Again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know that way. Well now, this is quite lucky. I was about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again, then. Arigato. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the encounter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here... It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she won't be able to read any labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she's had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking back up to it in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Ah, sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can't think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it's out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seem to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yanmaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. Grab along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine as she and Hanako follows every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our foods and are out the door! As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky, while holding both our bags. For a moment I try to make clouds with my breath, but summer heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Hang on guys, I need to take a photo here. Auto mode, show image. La la! Okay! Now return. But the summer heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my 2. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow. That's for certain. Guess the festival preparations must be taking their tolls on both of them. We walk outside into the quiet street, taking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait. What's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second I think it's another male student from my class. But as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Ren, what are you doing out here so late? Ren? Lily pokes her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. Suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin, Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, wakarimashita. I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie. Well, a statue of a zombie. But slowly some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello! There isn't an awkward pause. Everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? ... I... I was wondering about that myself too, just now. Some people asked us just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. So, that was pretty much of it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. ... They were going that way. Coach Da. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went to as if they were important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clocklets. A person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that doesn't need a lot to be said. And sure, if she's finished, I'd say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seem equally robbed of words for the time being. I think that both of us are, in fact, just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied laugh-good reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us, expecting a calm hint of expression of blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if bull elephant graded staves were flowing in her veins in the place of blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having any of the sorts. So... No, I don't think it's that. The other passerbys were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh. No. Oh, I see. Maybe I should take it somewhat other kind of pose in that case. I pondered for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decided on the latter. It seems that most of the time it's better not to read too deeply in what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said. Even when I win, I lose. Is this the power of the girls of Yanmaku? ... I push the thought aside as too dangerously to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during moments of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyways, you have no idea what you're doing here. She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress, at least. Lily sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there is some, definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reason. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hope all too visibly. That didn't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances of side what should be done. We could just leave her on her own devices whether those are, but it's late. I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me, trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decides to embark on this adventure. The chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery several times in a row. Lily's oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some support from the sideline here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems so familiar with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere else, not coming back to school. Any idea elsewhere? Her eyes widen in shock as she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act best for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique! No, what? Why would you do that? What do you think of that? You knew what I was doing. It was just an educational guess. We walked the same street on the other direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to conclusions completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I made a mental joke. Note to stock up on soft drinks. No, this is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulder, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come with us back to the school? Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguises that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind-reading topic drop as if Charlie inane anywhere. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Rin considers this rather simple deduction from one, then nods. Okay. When we start towards the school again, having wasted more time than necessary with this episode, Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her arrhythmic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker and a rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with a cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that, and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. Quite apart from the relaxing one in the town at that. So, how's the mural going? We are going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it will be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of the place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yanmaku rests on top is surprisingly steep, going uphill. Slow pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Almost there, I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I noticed that Lily's head slightly tightens on my shoulder, correcting as a gesture she wants to ask something to speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resisted, I said, aside from a traveling companion! Only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should ever bring it up, but going for it anyways. Is everything alright? Alright? How do you mean? The fact that I can't interpret your incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice my breathing is strained heavily. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lily noticed it all too quickly. That leads to a bad ending, so I'm gonna do sorry. Gomenasai. I'm not really in a good condition. I'm alright. I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh? Isn't it something that is related to you being transferred here? I mean? She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realizing she was being a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp as though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you look fairly healthy, so I naturally thought. Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expressions buzz me to say at least something to ease her mind. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her own comfort about such thing. Nah, yeah. Daijoubu, Nakai. I have a pretty... I guess the best way to put it would be a messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I have a bad heart attack a while ago because of it and spent most of the spring in the hospital. Ended in Yanmaku on doctor's orders. He silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brows even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault for her for it, given I have the exact reaction. To my surprise, in a moment inside her face shows that she comes to some sort of realization. Wait, so the time when Amy and you collided in the hallway? I grimace slightly, her ability to connect the dots quite so fast, unexpected. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running in the corridor exist. That was a lot more dry than I intended. Lily visibly shies away from the continuing the topic. Well, I do want to assuage her concern. I really don't want to dwell on this either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realize the futility without knowing this. Lily smiles at me reassuring, but doesn't say anything further. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of a mural as if lightning struck her. She had been so quiet for almost all this walk back that I forgotten she was here. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, the 8th of June. Yeah, baido! Bad. Doste? I think I'm going to in the fetal position and throw up. Possibly in reverse order. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. It's Friday and nothing is wrong. The mural, it's going to be finished by Sunday, so everything's alright. Do you have any drugs or a time machine? This is not good. Not good. So she's behind schedule, recalling Shizune's exasperation at Rin's Cafe attitude several days ago. I don't know what to think. She has left for herself open for "told you so!" unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me! I'm going to need to work this for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look with me as I roll my eyes, but then I realize she's not the one to do this kind of thing. Leave me! We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There's a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rensha has a knack of making people feel worried about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone. She sounds like she was going into shock or something. I'm sure she'll be just fine. She's just, how to say? Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, very unique person. I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion, melodiously nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So my guess was right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile as she was sorry that her own shortcomings have prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her, at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. Imagine she's exhausted by all this as I am. Oh boy. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hisao. She smiles very sweetly at me. Feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what this difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'd say, but that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin. Maybe. Yeah. Good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. Wait. Yeah. Good night. Say hi. Blah. I will. Good night. Oyasumi nasai. And now we end this episode. Well, not episode, but necessary. But goddamn, I'm tired now. May I go to sleep? Yes, I can. Well, anyways, I gotta go. And pause it. Like and favorite if you're enjoying this session. Subscribe to become one of my eggshell viewers, and look forward to whatever I make. This is Tsu-Kun signing out. Have a good day, everyone, and stay sharp, everyone. Oyasumi nasai. By the way, I should just... There we go. Yeah, bye! Bye-bye!